United States aircraft carriers are finally becoming the most powerful ships in the world. This country has debuted a game-changing weapon, a very powerful laser carrier meant to combat the growing threat of hypersonic missiles. With its tremendous firepower and advanced technology, how is this new laser carrier superior to the traditional missile defense system? How effective are they in countering China's hypersonic missiles? Join us as we reveal the capabilities of the new powerful laser technology that the US has announced. Aircraft carriers originally showed their value during World War II when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, with planes launched from ships. It demonstrated how powerful these ships could be. Following this, aircraft carriers became the most important warships. They played an important role in significant Pacific Sea battles, including Midway, the Coral Sea, and the Battle of Leyte Gulf. For years, these floating air bases have served as the foundation of the United States Navy's offensive capabilities. Today, they are larger and more advanced than ever before, but also more vulnerable to America's expanding number of adversaries, particularly China's Navy and the People's Liberation Army Navy. As a result, many people are questioning if the exorbitant expense of building and maintaining them is still justified. This scenario worsens. Based on satellite photographs shared by Maxar with USNI News, the Chinese military has developed targets in the Taklamakan Desert that resemble an American aircraft carrier and other US warships. The targets include a full-size outline of an Australian carrier and two Arleigh Burke-class destroyers erected in central China's Rujiang province. This region is near where China tested their DF-21D anti-ship missiles, sometimes known as carrier killers, in 2013. The new range indicates that China is still working on developing missiles to target US Navy ships, with this facility being more advanced than similar targets in the Persian Gulf. According to Max's photos, the carrier target looks to be a flat surface with no essential features such as an island, aircraft lifts, or armaments. On radar, the carrier's outline is easily visible. As depicted in Capella space photos, two more carrier-shaped targets without metal stand out from the desert, although their contours still indicate that they are carriers. Other warship targets are more elaborate, with numerous upright poles that might be employed as instruments or radar reflectors to replicate the ship's structure. The facility also features a massive rail system, and a photograph from October 9 depicted a 75-meter-long target with modern technology. According to an examination of Maxar pictures by All Source Analysis, a geospatial intelligence organization that discovered the facility using satellite imagery, the area has primarily been utilized for ballistic missile testing along a 6-meter-wide rail. The mock-ups of potential US warships, some on tracks and movable, may be used to test target detection and tracking. However, no traces of weapon effect were observed close. The comprehensive arrangement includes sensors around the targets, suggests that the space be used for several purposes over time. Satellite images suggest that the carrier target was initially created between March and April 2019, rebuilt a few times, and mostly disassembled by December 2019. The site reopened in late September of this year, and the construction was largely complete by early October. The People's Liberation Army Rocket Force manages China's multiple anti-ship ballistic missile projects. The land-based DF-21D missile can reach targets up to 800 nautical miles away and includes a maneuverable warhead for striking ships. The bigger DF-26 has a range of around 2,000 nautical miles. According to a Pentagon assessment, the Chinese military launched 6 DF-21D missiles into the South China Sea north of the Spratly Islands in July 2019. China is thought to be developing a longer-range anti-ship missile, which debuted in 2016. The DF-26 can rapidly convert between conventional and nuclear warheads and launch pinpoint strikes on land or at sea in regions such as the Western Pacific, Indian Ocean, and South China Sea. China tested these missiles against a moving target in the South China Sea in 2020, but the results have not been formally confirmed. China is also working on a program to equip its Navy's H-6 bombers with a big anti-ship missile, which was announced in 2018. The CHS-X-13 could be the world's largest air-launched missile, carrying a hypersonic warhead. Another potential platform for launching anti-ship missiles is China's upcoming Type of 55 Renhai-class heavy destroyer, which the Pentagon reports will be capable of carrying such missiles. In 2003, China erected a carrier target in the desert. which was a massive concrete pad the size of a ship. It has served as a target in the Shaanxi missile test range, where it is frequently hit and rebuilt. The newer location in the Taklamakan Desert, 600 miles away, is more advanced, with ship targets that more closely resemble actual vessels. There are still doubts about which weapons will be tested at the new facility, but the advanced setup indicates that the Chinese military is continuing to research ways to diminish the efficacy of U.S. naval forces near China, with a particular focus on U.S. aircraft carriers. According to a Pentagon analysis released last week, one of China's primary goals for its rocket force is to keep U.S. carriers under attack from anti-ship ballistic missiles across the Western Pacific. The U.S. Navy is going to tremendous lengths to protect its most vital warship, the USS Gerald R. Ford, by arming it with the most powerful laser weapon ever devised. The USS Gerald R. Ford is not just an ordinary ship, it is a nuclear-powered vessel equipped with 2 nuclear reactors, each weighing more than 1,000 tons. These reactors provide the ship with incredible durability, allowing it to power a full city without interruption. 2 Bechtel A-1B nuclear reactors, located in its center, generate approximately 700 megawatts of power, which is equivalent to an impressive 952,000 horsepower, or nearly 2 million horsepower, thanks to their pair of massive electric motors. Each motor is the size of 4 stacked pickup trucks and generates 1.5 million horsepower. This floating platform can accommodate up to 90 fighter, support, and tactical aircraft. Towering 25 floors above the water, it weighs 97,000 tons, which is 32,000 tons more than the largest battleships of WWIII. It is a genuine behemoth. The USS Gerald R. Ford is the world's largest aircraft carrier, able to accommodate a wide range of aircraft, helicopters, and unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, including the most sophisticated and advanced 5th-generation fighter fighters. This aircraft carrier is equipped with a Mark 15 phalanx close-in weapon system, which is a recognizable mark of excellence in anti-aircraft artillery systems. Its famous reputation is well-deserved. It proudly touts a phenomenal rate of fire capable of firing 4,500 rounds per minute with an initial projectile velocity of 3,600 feet per second. In non-offensive engagements, the phalanx orchestrates a never-ending ballet of projectiles with the precision and speed of a laser-like performance. Notably, the USS Gerald R. Ford boasts a forward-thinking weapon system, Lockheed Martin's Law's shipboard laser system. This cutting-edge system is powered by the aircraft carrier's nuclear reactor, allowing for a sustained onslaught against hostile planes and missiles over a 3-mile range. The laser's deadly power is enough to disable aircraft electronics or destroy projectiles approaching the USS Gerald R. Ford. It features a large 5-acre flying deck and cutting-edge technology. They intend to maintain their dominance over the seas well into the 2050s and beyond. However, due to its massive size, the carrier cannot glide across the water like a race vehicle. The ship has nearly 3 times the power of America's current supercarriers, producing over 300 megawatts of electricity, according to the Navy. Seeing it on the sea is like witnessing a block of New York City move at 34 miles per hour. China, on the other hand, has developed new missiles capable of traveling at speeds exceeding 5 times the speed of sound. The USS Ford and the Navy's Pacific Fleet may become obsolete. A critical assessment from Congress, revised in August 2022, has highlighted worries about Navy ships' ability to withstand warfare against opponents such as China, which has numerous drones and superior missile systems. Even though Russia has hypersonic weapons, the Navy is more concerned with China. Over the previous decade, China has rapidly expanded its Navy and produced numerous anti-ship weapons. China openly admits that these weapons, which include missiles capable of traveling at more than 10 times the speed of sound, are intended to stop American ships. One of their test facilities even features life-size mock-ups of U.S. aircraft carriers for training. The USS Ford and similar ships have missile defenses, but they are insufficient to adequately protect them in a long-term battle against China's newest and most advanced weapons. To maintain control of the Pacific and keep its ships safe, the Navy is investing considerably in technology that has been difficult to create. Lasers offer exciting advantages. They are not only powered by huge energy sources such as Ford's nuclear reactors, but they can also fire at the speed of light, making them an excellent match for hypersonic weapons. They may also be swiftly reloaded to combat huge groups of drones. Ships would have nearly limitless firepower because they do not require ammunition. In 2021, the Biden administration formed a Pentagon task committee to study the threat posed by China's rapidly expanding Navy. Based on the task force's findings a year later, the Defense Department recognized China as America's primary strategic foe. China today possesses over 770 military vessels, more than double the U.S. fleet, with the majority of them based in the Pacific, while the U.S. fleet is divided between the Atlantic and the Pacific. China's hypersonic weapons are not the only threat. Carrier commanders have long recognized that huge quantities of anti-ship cruise missiles pose a significant threat. These missiles are capable of overwhelming a ship's defenses. Swarms of low-cost, long-range suicide drones might also cause significant damage to a carrier group. The Navy's situation is evident. Its largest carriers and most heavily armed destroyers are not equipped to deal with huge numbers of aerial attackers. The USS Gerald R. Ford is now assigned to a carrier strike group, which includes a fleet of 10 or more cruisers, destroyers, and frigates, as well as 1 or 2 submarines. At least 2 of these ships are Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers. Concentrate on air defense. They use sophisticated radars to identify threats from almost 200 miles away, and the Phalanx CIWS is outfitted with surface-to-air missiles. The Phalanx system has radar-guided 20mm, 6-barrel Gatling guns that fire 4,500 rounds per minute, similar to the cannons on American fighter jets such as the 16. A carrier strike group carries enough equipment to stop scores of missiles from up to 200 miles distant. It becomes vulnerable when it runs out of interceptors, which must be stored and replaced after each battle. While certain supplies can be restocked at sea, missiles cannot. They need to be refueled at a port. The Pentagon refers to this as a depth of magazine issue, implying that opponents may exploit it by overwhelming the defenders with a large number of strikes. The Pentagon believes that lasers are the most effective approach to defending against swarming drones. Unlike the lasers in Star Wars, genuine laser beams do not burst upon hit. However, it emits a significant amount of heat. At lower power, they can interfere with a drone's sensors, but at higher power, they can burn through them. Essentially, lasers convert energy into ammunition. With nuclear reactors like those aboard the USS Ford, lasers could theoretically fire hundreds, if not tens of thousands, of times to deter approaching attackers. Because laser beams travel at the speed of light, they can better track and target fast-moving weapons like China's hypersonic DFZF than regular missiles. Gunners would not have to guess where the target will be, as they do now. Lasers are also significantly cheaper. According to the Congressional Research Service, shooting a high-powered laser costs between $1 and $10, which is significantly cheaper than the millions of dollars required to launch defense missiles. In 2014, the Navy deployed the first laser on a ship for sea trials. The 33-kilowatt SAQ-3 laser weapon system, mounted forward on the deck of the amphibious transport ship USS Ponce, malfunctioned. 2 smaller sensors rest on the shoulders of the round, white-painted firing tube. To the untrained eye, it resembled an amateur astronomer's telescope. Even this early low-power variant produced amazing firepower. In 2019, testing began on a second, more powerful laser. The Navy's first permanent laser will be deployed on the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer Preble in August 2022. The weapon, created by Lockheed Martin, produces 60 kilowatts. It also integrates with the ship's powerful Aegis radar and weapons control system. The Navy names it Helios, which stands for High Energy Laser with Integrated Optical Dazzler and Surveillance System. Later versions might be considerably more powerful. Lockheed Martin delivered the Navy's first high-energy laser system, Helios, in the 3rd quarter of fiscal year 2022, and it is presently being placed on an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer undergoing renovations, according to a company representative. According to Rick Corduro, a vice president at Lockheed Martin, Helios improves the ship's ability to defend against future threats, while also providing more protection for personnel. He underlined that the technology is tailored to the Navy's specific requirements and may be updated over time. Helios is part of the Navy's overall strategy to boost its use of laser weapons. The Navy requested approximately $35 million for this category of systems in its 2023 budget, with the first system likely to be deployed at sea that year. The armament system fills holes in surface threat defense and monitoring, and it is capable of destroying drones and small attack boats. According to a Congressional Research Service assessment from August, this technology is a significant improvement over current systems such as surface-to-air missiles and Gatling guns, which require ammunition and are costly to use against low-cost drones. Lockheed Martin believes the weapon might someday reach 150 kilowatts, but even then, it will be most effective against drones and small boats. To stop a wave of cruise missiles or a hypersonic weapon moving at Mach 5 or higher, the Navy will require a considerably more powerful laser. The Navy thinks that a 300 kilowatt laser is required to disable cruise missiles. This is because, in addition to being huge and fast, these missiles include heat-resistant nose cones constructed of materials such as pyrolytic graphite or ceramics designed to withstand the intense heat of supersonic flight, which can reach over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Lasers will have to burn through these strong materials quickly. They must also be powerful enough to overcome atmospheric interference and correctly target a missile moving at 1 mile per second in order to destroy it. A new remedy may be on the way soon. The Navy intends to test a 300 kilowatt laser known as HELCAP, or High Energy Laser Counter ASCM, later this year. A 2020 photo behind Admiral Michael Gilday indicates that HELCAP will be based on the Navy's current Odin technology. It is already on several destroyers. If the test is successful, HELCAP will be the Navy's first laser capable of destroying anti-ship cruise missiles. However, even HELCAP will not be powerful enough to stop hypersonic missiles moving at Mach 10. These missiles can withstand temperatures above 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. According to the Pentagon, taking them down would need a 1 megawatt laser that is more than 3 times as powerful as HELCAP. Fortunately, MW-class lasers could be available shortly. The Navy awarded Northrop Grumman a contract to construct such a laser, and by July 2022, the corporation had completed a concept for a high-energy laser that combines multiple beams into one. Northrop will first create a 300 kilowatt prototype, but the technology might eventually scale to 1 megawatt. This technology is critical to the Pentagon, which has invested billions of dollars in aircraft carriers. China's anti-ship weapons are rapidly improving, making ships like the Ford more vulnerable than they have been in decades. The U.S. Navy's future may rest on intercepting a single hypersonic missile, but the Navy expects that its new laser weapons will be able to destroy these missiles at a significantly lesser cost. The United Kingdom is also developing a laser system known as the Dragonfire. It was originally unveiled to the public in 2007 at the Defence and Security Equipment International Conference in London. It is being developed by UK Dragonfire, a group comprised of MBDA UK and Leonardo UK, Shineti Q, and the Defence Science and Technology Lab. A production version is planned to be deployed on Royal Navy vessels by 2027. Dragonfire employs modern technology created in the United Kingdom to generate a powerful laser beam with improved performance, faster reaction times, and greater range. It makes extensive use of glass fibers, but the exact composition is unknown. The laser system consists of a camera and a weaker laser for tracking, all mounted on a rotating platform. The laser has around 50 kilowatts of power and is designed to protect land and maritime targets from missile and mortar strikes. It could be powered by a revolutionary flywheel energy storage system being developed in the UK and the United States. The laser's exact range is secret, but each shot costs only 50 EUR. The UK intends to utilize these high-energy lasers on future Navy ships, Army vehicles, and Air Force fighter jets, such as the BAE Systems Tempest. We'll also test them on a Type 23 frigate and a Wolfhound vehicle. Thank you for watching. While you're here, click the link on your screen to view another of our videos. See you there.